expected him to fix their teeth. In the end, he saved lives with a machine gun. That phrase is not found in any military manual. But what Captain Ben Solomon did on Saipan Island challenged every rule and rewrote the meaning of service. Ben Solomon has gentle hands, the kind that hold mirrors and dental tools, not rifles. Born in 1914 in Milwaukee, he was the type of person who helped boys tie knots in the Boy Scouts and provided free medical checkups for those who couldn't afford them. He studied hard, became a dentist, and opened a thriving clinic in Los Angeles. A stable life. Safe. But the world had other plans. In 1940, as the clouds of war grew thicker, Ben was drafted into the United States Army. They gave him a rifle. Ironically, he was very good at it. In fact, he was designated as a professional marksman. But soon after, his dental skills brought him back to the medical corps. By 1944, he had attained the rank of captain and joined the 27th Infantry Division, nicknamed Orion's Roughnecks. That summer, he landed on the scorching hot beaches of Saipan, one of the Mariana Islands, under strict Japanese control. The risks were very high. If the United States captured Saipan, their bombers would be able to fly to Tokyo. Every inch of land would be soaked in blood, and that's exactly how it is. For weeks, the U.S. military has been struggling through minefields, bunkers, and suicide bombs, the forest thick with the smell of gunpowder and sweat. Captain Solomon, although trained as a medic, volunteered to replace a wounded frontline surgeon. He set up a temporary aid station just about 50 yards, roughly 50 meters from the front lines. The wounded men cried out for help. He stitched, bandaged, amputated limbs, unceasingly. Then came July 7th, 1944. Before dawn, a wave of 5,000 Japanese soldiers launched one of the largest bonsai charges of the entire Pacific War. They screamed, attacking with bayonets and grenades, breaking through the American lines. The front bent and warped. Solomon's tent had become a battlefield. He witnessed it. Enemy soldiers stabbing helpless patients lying outside the aid station. Ben did not hesitate. He grabbed a rifle from a wounded soldier and stepped into the chaos. One shot, two, three, blood sprayed. He did not miss. When two Japanese soldiers rushed into the tent, he shot them down. But many others crawled in from under the tarp. He fought back, close combat, merciless. He kicked a knife away from one, bayoneted another, and wrestled a third to the ground. His uniform soaked with sweat and blood, he shouted for medical staff to evacuate the patients. "I'll hold them off. Get them to safety," he said. That was the last time anyone heard his voice. Then, silence and gunfire. Ben took position behind a captured heavy machine gun, alone. He fired into the oncoming crowd, burst after burst. They kept coming. He kept firing. When the U.S. Army retook the area days later, the scene told its own story. Ben Solomon's body lay there, riddled with 24 bullet wounds, stabbed countless times, almost unrecognizable. Around him, 98 enemy soldiers lay dead. One man, one gun, 98 enemies fallen. He was only 29 years old. The military hesitated to honor him. The Geneva Convention states that medical personnel are not to carry weapons, but decades later, it was finally recognized. What Solomon did was not an attack, it was defense. In 2002, nearly 60 years after his death, he was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor, the United States' highest military decoration. They say he was a dentist, but to the wounded he saved, he was a fortress of courage. Sometimes heroes don't carry swords. They carry stethoscopes and scalpels, until the moment demands something more. What would you do if everything you were trained for suddenly no longer mattered, and all that stood between life and death was you? Let us know in the comments. And if this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The Turning Point, where true stories touch the soul.